So the Wii U came out in 2012, and I had my first child in 2011, which meant that I did not have a lot of time for playing video games. I was not playing video games much at all, but um, there were a lot of great games for the Wii U. I think the Wii U, I would say, in retrospect, I consider it both a success and a failure. Certainly financially, it was a failure. Um, and I hated the controller. I did not like it at all. I thought that was a terrible idea. I wish I wish they could come out with another system that used these discs that simply didn't use that controller. And there were only a few games that really required the controller, although I believe it had to be in the vicinity and hooked up. But I just hated that giant controller, and I hated the fact that you had so much value in a controller instead of in the console. I thought that was a bad idea because I personally, my controller, that big chunky screened controller, broke, and I had to take it in to get repaired. Um, but as in terms of games, I thought the system was extremely successful. So this was the first system where I was uh, buying games and putting them in a queue. Since I had to continue to take care of my first daughter and then second daughter, um, I really didn't have time to play. So I bought them with the intention of playing them later. And in a lot of cases, I didn't. Even though almost all these games are opened, they weren't played by me. I was lending them out to other people and letting them play it. Now the Wii U has slightly more value maybe than the Wii in terms of games, but not a lot. So I'll go through my the first one I have is Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD, and this one is still sealed. Never opened it. This is a 2006 GameCube game, redone. I had played it on the GameCube and just never got around to playing it. So this is, I guess, the jewel in my Wii U collection. This is about $150 for this, and then the prices drop fast and dramatically. The next one is The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. And what's ironic about this is that I was trying to buy games as cheap as possible. There was no reason for me to pay full price because I knew I wasn't going to play them, at least not when I bought them. So I was buying the Nintendo Selects games, which are cheaper, and ironically, they are more valuable, I guess, because they are quite a bit more rare. This one is about $59, so probably, yeah, this was definitely more than I paid for it, but we're getting closer. The next one opened, I never played it, is Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut, and this one is $40, and I'll bet that it's still more than I paid for it. So opened, unsealed is $40. Never played it. See, what happened was that by the time I felt comfortable playing games again, the Switch had come out. And it's not that I didn't play any of these games. I played some of these games a lot, but I'll go through what I actually did play. Darksiders 2, this one is about $35. So this one is still sealed, actually. That's probably the only reason it's $35, because I don't think it's an expensive game. Next one, series I used to love. Back on the PC, it's opened, did not play it. Maybe someday. Splinter Cell Blacklist. This one is $21. Probably, I'm not sure. That's probably about what I paid for it. It may be below. But I did really enjoy this series. I played many of the games, but I just didn't play this one. Bayonetta 2. I remember this game. So I was there with my youngest daughter, and fired the game up, started playing it, and there was all sorts of foul language in it, and I pulled the game out. Not that I have a problem with foul language, but I didn't want it in front of my daughter, and so pulled the game out and never ended up going back and playing it. This one is about $20 for it, so the value is dropping fast. On here, looking at the games, let's see if I can. The next one is Need for Speed Most Wanted. This was a very, very interesting, very cool driving game. This was the first open world console driving game I'd ever played, and it was kind of it was pretty amazing to me. This stuff had been, available on like the Xbox and PlayStation for a long time, so it was nice to see it actually on a Nintendo system. So I really enjoyed this game. This one is open, was played. This one is about $15, so the prices have dropped quickly. There are very few very expensive games. So we have Turbo Super Stunt Squad, Devil's Third, The Book of Unwritten, Zelda Twilight Princess is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 8th most expensive new price game. So it's actually pretty high. I don't know if any of these games will ever be worth a lot. It's a little surprising, maybe. I guess there's just a complete lack of interest, or a high lack of interest in the console just in general, because given the sales of the console, there probably are less of these games than for other consoles. And ironically, the Wii sold so much better than this, and the Wii really did not have a great roster of games. So this is a game I definitely played. Again, a Nintendo Selects game, Super Mario 3D World. Let's see, this one is $13 for it. And that's the more expensive of the two, since it's Nintendo Selects. $13. Definitely less than I paid for it. Pikmin 3, Nintendo Selects. Again, this is one I played a lot. And this one and the Super Mario I was able to play with my daughters. And that was a lot of fun. They enjoyed this one. Okay, this is a little out of order. This one is about $17.40. So that should actually go ahead of Super Mario 3D World. And then finally we have Monster Hunter Ultimate. And, again, out of order. So this is about $17. So Super Mario 3D World, I'm not sure why I put that on there. So how was I deciding? Well, it was very simple, deciding what I was going to get. So on here on Metacritic, Metacritic is a very good site, but it's got issues. I think that their under the hood programming is not the greatest. So we got did not get this one because I got it this is the Wind Waker. I got it for the Switch, so no reason to jump back a generation. Super Mario 3D World, own it. I never was into Super Smash Brothers. I owned the first one on Nintendo 64, never got into any of the other ones. Rayman Legends, own it. Bayonetta 2, own it. We got some digital only. I did not buy any digital only. Didn't buy Super Mario Maker. This one came bundled with the Mario Kart came bundled with my system. Deus Ex, own it. Shovel Knight, didn't own it. Pikmin 3, own it. Assassin's Creed, own it. Assassin's Creed is about $12. So I was just picking up games based on their ratings with the intention of playing it, and then in many cases didn't play it. So if I go through the different prices, Call of Duty Ghosts, $12. Assassin's Creed Black Flag, $12. Batman Arkham City Armored Edition, $11. So, you have a ton of games. Mass Effect 3, $10. Assassin's Creed 3, $7. These are not games that really kept their value. I keep these games more because they are great games. I would love to play them someday. It will be, interesting to see, because I know a lot of these games, they were for other systems. This is when Nintendo finally started getting their third-party support back again, and but they were all downgraded for the Wii U because the Nintendo systems are always less powerful. But anyway, so that is my Wii U collection. That is not a system you're gonna get a lot of value out of your games. So even though I was grabbing up games at the cheapest price I got, I would say most of them have lost value. Certainly because I opened them. If I'd have kept them all closed, they might have maintained their value. So that's my Wii U collection, and I believe that is the last of my game collections. I have other games here and there, but not enough to make a video.